Yes, hello and welcome to another episode of this little guide. I don't even know which episode it is right now. Is it episode number 8? I have no idea. Okay, so if you already read the title of this episode, you already know what we're going to talk about. So in this episode we want to talk about how to adjust or level your pinball machine, because this can really make or break a good game and a lot of fun. So how do we adjust a pinball machine? I mean, some people can already adjust a pinball machine if they take a book on the playfield and they put a ball underneath the book, and then they just lift up the book and they see which way the ball is going, and if the ball goes a little bit like this or a little bit like this or something, they know how to adjust the playfield, but yeah, I'm not really sure about that. So a few pinball machines, they have, I think they are called water level or something like this on the side here. So that's if you want to adjust the degrees of the pinball machine or of the playfield. So, but I don't have that on my pinball machine, so we're using one of those little things right here. So if you got a pinball machine, I mean, some people like to adjust their pinball machines in the way they like it. They don't care about what the manual says or anything like this. They just adjust it the way they like it. Some people like their pinball machines fast. Some people like their pinball machines a little bit more slow. Other people like their pinball machines fast, but when it comes to wide body pinball machines such as this one, they want that the wide body pinball machines are a little bit slower than the regular sized pinball machines. All this kind of stuff. I mean, it's up to you, but let's just adjust it the way it says in the manual. If you have the manual, there's already a little guide that tells you how to adjust your playfield. So yeah, if you want to adjust your playfield the way you like it, no matter what the manual says, just think about it. The more flat the playfield is, so if the playfield doesn't go like this, if it's more like this, the more the ball likes to go out on the left and the right sides. Because the ball is rolling a lot more sideways and stuff like that. So if you don't have the original manual to your pinball machine, search the internet, maybe you'll find it there. If you don't want to buy it, go to ipdb.org, and most pinball machines, if you type in the name of your pinball machine, you will probably find the original manual as a downloadable PDF file. So now we want to adjust this pinball machine, and on those later pinball machines, I mean older pinball machines, they are definitely a lot more leveled or something like that, but on those later pinball machines, they always say it's recommended to use something between 6 or 7 degrees. So make sure that you get one of those things where you can also measure the degrees, or I don't even know how to say it. You can get one of those things, but you can also get an electronic one with digital displays or something like this, and just set it between 6 and 7 degrees. You can also set it on 6 or 7 degrees or 6.5. Really, it's up to you, but that's what it's recommended. So as you can already see, this one isn't really between 6 and 7 degrees. So if I would change it a little bit, I will see where it's located. So that's where it is right now. So what is this? It's hard to say, it's out of focus, but you know, between 6 and 7 degrees. That's the way you should put it. So how do you adjust a pinball machine? You adjust the pinball machine by lifting the pinball machine up and then screwing those levelers, I think that's what they are called, up and down. So it is wise to get a second person to do this, so that the person is lifting up the pinball machine as you're turning those legs up and down. If you don't have a second person, try to find something where you can put the pinball machine on it, or you know, some people like they get underneath the pinball machine and they just lift up the pinball machine with their back and then just try to screw and turn those things as fast as possible. And yeah, then you should check out if it's leveled or not. So, but that's just like the angle. I think that's the word I was looking for. That is just the angle of the pinball machine. But we have just adjusted this one. But what when it comes to the sideways, you know, like left and right? So you should always make sure that it's leveled. So you can already see this one. Maybe it also needs a little bit more. I thought I said it already correctly, but this one also needs a little bit more adjustment. I mean, depending if this water level is really straight or not, sometimes it's really hard to tell. So I know some pinball machines, they also have a little level right here with a little bubble, so you have to adjust the pinball machine so that the bubble is really in the middle, but that doesn't really work well. So a wise thing is, I mean, if you have a really big level, which is big as the cabinet, you can measure it right here on the front without the lockdown bar. So that's always a good thing, but that's only for the front. But you should always, you know, check out the back as well. But if you just have a small one like this one, try to find a place somewhere close to the flipper fingers where you can put the level. And I mean, you can already see, I don't know if you can see it, it's pretty small, but you can see it needs to go down a little bit on this side, you know. But that's just the front, you know, but you should always try to find a place somewhere way back on the play field where you can put this level on the play field to measure it. But that's when things start getting complicated, because you should always try to find a point where the level isn't sitting on one of those inserts. You know, the inserts, those are the lights and all this stuff, because sometimes the inserts are a little bit higher on the playfield, and then when the level is on one of those inserts, it's like, you know what I'm talking about. You know, I mean, we don't want to measure when it's sitting on an insert or something like this, because we want to measure the playfield. So sometimes it's really hard to find a good place somewhere in the back where it's not sitting on any of those inserts. Yeah, but that's basically how you level and measure, or how you level a pinball machine, you know. Just make sure that you are not only adjusting the front legs, but the legs on the back as well, you know. So yeah, some people like to measure right here on the cabinet or even on top of the back box, but that just doesn't work, because we don't want to level the cabinet, we want to level the play field, you know. And sometimes the play field isn't really accurate, so it's not really in the right position. Sometimes, especially when it's an older pinball machine, the play fields are bended a little bit, you know, if it hasn't been set correctly or something. So yeah, that's how you level a pinball machine. that's already... sorry for this cut, but I can only record 10 minutes. So yeah, that's how you level a pinball machine. So on later pinball machines, the angle something like between 6 and 7 degrees, but whatever you like, you know, and just make sure that the level isn't standing somewhere on one of those inserts, because that can really change a lot. So yeah, that's how you level a pinball machine. That's already it for this episode. I'm sorry if I talk so much about so little things, but yeah, I just want to make sure that everybody gets the point, and you know, with my bad English, maybe sometimes it's also a little bit difficult, because instead of saying one word, I just subscribe the word that I'm looking for. Yeah, that's the way it is. That's just the way it is. So yeah. Oh yeah, one little... no, let's do it later. So I think in my next video we're gonna get to the serious part of the pinball, which is technical problems. Yes, that's probably the part that you have all been waiting for. How can I fix something on my pinball machine? So in my next video, in the next episode, we are going to talk about the number one problem of a pinball machine: the flippers, the flipper fingers. What happens if those flipper fingers are too weak? What happens if they don't have enough power? What happens if they get stuck like this, even if you released the flipper button, it stays like this? So we're going to talk about this. So make sure that you don't miss the next episode. So see you next time. Bye.